Well, if you got a dollar on just a lousy down, know that I got rhythm that could suit your budget.
Hey, this is Patrick with Trusty Huckster Mercantile, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to my drop sale. It is Thanksgiving Day, and this is an annual tradition that Beth from Carolina Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties has put together every year, that when you're celebrating Thanksgiving, you've been with your family all day and you need a break. Happy to be your respite. Or maybe you're watching these live sales this evening with your family. You never know what everyone does to spend their time together. But appreciate you hopping on to my sale here at 7:30 Eastern. And this will be running for approximately half an hour. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern, Reclaimed Treasures by Mary will be posting her video. So hop over to her channel. And then wrapping things up this evening will be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern is Pamela Blanchard. So make sure you hop over to her channel to wrap things up. It's been a while since I've done a drop sale, so hopefully I didn't get too rusty, but I have a nice mix of items. Had kind of leaned toward ephemera and easy to ship items, but this time I'm putting in some breakable items as well. And I'm going to start off with one of them because if you've been part of the vintage community for a while, you know Fatbird Finds, and you might recognize this little item that I actually bought from them. I had this on my dresser at my old place, and when I sold my place and got married and moved in with my husband, actually don't have the dresser anymore, so didn't really have a place to put this, so it is now up for sale. It is a dresser caddy in the shape of a moose. So the back has the opening, so you can put your wallet in there, you can put, whatever, small items. There's a little tray down here in the front, so you can put change, you can put your rings, you can put, whatever you want, your keys in there. And then it even has some antlers, so if you want to put rings on there, or you can hang your watch over the side. It's simply a fun little ceramic piece that you can, and I would say ceramic over porcelain, that you can use as a dresser caddy. And you can have this by putting in and if you want to claim anything for the sale, you just go into the comments section. This is not a live sale, so it's not being monitored. You have to stop the video and hop over into the comment section and enter in the item number that you are claiming. This one is going to be item U, and this will be $25. So $25 for letter U. Claim this by putting the letter U and dresser caddy. If you want to put a description in there, put that in the comments. And I would suggest you go ahead and stop the video, put the comment, and then go back, because you don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out on items if you wait and try and claim them all at the very end. Next item, didn't really create a little theme here, but as I'm grabbing things off the table, this happened to be the next item that I had. We've got kind of a little wildlife theme going on. It is a very small, very adorable chipmunk. So it's a wooden piece. I don't think this one was marked in any way. No, there's no sticker on this one. Probably would have had a sticker. Yeah, I would say it is, quote unquote hand carved, although it may have been done as a production piece. But some really nice detail to it. Hopefully it will zoom in, it'll actually show nicely enough. It's got some really nice, you always tell when things are carved well. You can see the eyes, and the eyes are just really nicely done. They are staring. He does have kind of a serious expression on his face, like, don't touch my nuts. So, but he's adorable. He is simply a sitter. Got a flat bottom, really nice detail. The ears, everything seems to still be in nice condition. No chips, nothing missing off of him. And again, nicely painted details on him. You can have the chipmunk by giving me letter P, and he is available for $10. So $10 for Chippy. I just happen to have one more item here in the wildlife theme, so I'll go ahead and include it. This is another sitter. I'll give you a preview. I'm trying to find something he can sit on. He is a shelf sitter, a lion, and you can see he is carved in such a way that he can sit and his legs will hang over the edge of the shelf. This one did have a sticker. It is handcrafted in Kenya. So no surprise, as a Kenyan piece of wood, it is in the shape of a lion. Now, full disclosure, I don't typically carry things with damage, and I have a feeling when I picked this up, he wasn't damaged. I think he got crushed in the bag. But he has a little bit of a split across his lap. Let's see the best way to see it. You can kind of see it there because of where the legs So I think at some point his legs may have been pushed. It's still integral, like there's nothing holding it. I mean, it's not falling apart. There's no glue or anything holding this back on. So it hasn't split all the way through, but there is still a split. And as a result, he's not going to sell for nearly as much money as he normally would have. But he still looks adorable. And if you put him up on a shelf, no one is going to be able to see that split. And because of the damage, he's going to be reduced in price significantly because it's still an attractive piece. So you can pick him up for letter Y, and you can have him for $10. So $10 for the lion shelf sitter, as is, handcrafted in Kenya by giving me letter Y. All right, I think those are all the animals that I have. Again, I didn't do that on purpose, just happen to have animals. Next is a little lot of items. So I had a couple, let's see, well, I did one breakable item, two non-breakable items. Let me jump to another breakable item. So this, I had this tiny little toothpick holder, and then I had this bowl. I'm just going to combine them. I'm just going to make the price simple enough that if you like clear glass, you get both of these items. So this one, it had been in my booth for $5, disclosure. It is a pressed glass. This is not, it is in the style of Brilliant Cut, but this is not cut glass. This is pressed. And it has a really nice ridge detail on the top with the facets. They're actually in really good shape. I don't feel any chips. I don't feel any missing, any cracks or anything on that. The whole thing is in really nice condition, and the bottom is very, very clean. So ignore the fact that he is $5 on by himself, because I'm going to sell him with this rose etched bowl. So the bowl itself has this really nice, I don't know what you would call that, kind of a ocean spray. It's a teardrop design that's wrapping around it. Kind of like a liquid drop that kind of forms and then creates a new one and then forms another one. Kind of a cool, I actually don't think I've ever had a bowl with that kind of design to it, but I couldn't find any reference to it to know who made it. It is is 3 seams, so it's a multi-piece, 1, 2, 3, yes, 3 seams. So it is a multi-piece, a 3-piece mold, which gives it a little bit of extra detail, lets you get those little teardrops in there. And then the rose etch. Can I show this? Maybe put paper behind it so you can see it a little bit better. Maybe. Yeah, that didn't really do much. But hopefully you can see it. You can see there is a rose there. There you go. So you've got a rose on this pair, this side, and this side. But anyway, it's 3 panels, so there are still 3 seams. They've been fire polished a little bit, but they're still there. So you've got the rose etched bowl with the toothpick holder. Sorry, you're not going to have it in time for Thanksgiving, but hey, maybe you could have it in time for Christmas, for your Christmas table, dinner table. You get the pair of them for $15 by giving me letter V. $15, letter V, for the pair of clear glass. Go to a non-breakable item again. So this is a mixed lot, just kind of a fun little lot. If you're looking to do vignettes, or who knows what you want to use them for. It is a collection of vintage health equipment. So you've got a gauze bandage, you've got a Johnson & Johnson tourniquet. Now the tourniquet is missing the end of its box, but the tourniquet itself is still in there. So you got some vintage advertising going on there. You've got a Rexall gauze bandage, sterile. So you got one of those. And you also have, from Rexall, a larger gauze bandage. So to me, in my weird little world, I could see these, maybe even the tourniquet, put these in your powder room, in your guest bath, in the medicine cabinet. I think people would get a kick out of those. Who knows what you could do with them? They may be functional. They are sealed, so they're new old stock. I have not opened them. The tourniquet is open, but I don't really feel like unwrapping it because I'm not sure what'll happen. Depending on the age, I'm not sure I've actually found ages on any of these, but they're probably 60s or 70s. I don't know if you're going to still have any elasticity in the gauze. So I think they're for decorative use only. But you can get all 4 of these as one lot for $10 by giving me letter L. L for $10, you get all 4 of the pieces of medical equipment, I guess. All right, this bridges the gap of being truly breakable to not so bad. This one is, I absolutely love this. I actually considered keeping it, but you know, can't keep everything I find. It is, not sure the age on this. I don't think it's particularly old because there's a website on there, so it's kind of a giveaway. It's relatively new. But it is from Classic Collections World Skyscrapers. The copyright is for a company called Arch. And I did do a little bit of digging and I did find some of these, but I didn't find this one. So this is World Skyscrapers, it says on the bottom, and then it says Arch down in the corner. And then what you have on here are, exactly what the sign says, skyscrapers from around the world. So you've got the Sears Tower, you've got the John Hancock Building from Chicago, because I recognize those. You've got the dual tower that is the Petronas Towers from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest one. Empire State Building is on there. I don't know all the buildings. I apologize. It does actually, though, have a cheat sheet on the back. And if I had my magnifying glass, I'd be able to read it because there ain't no way I can read this without my glasses. I say the words Empire State. So, but it's all in there and how tall they are. I thought this was a pretty cool piece. It is framed, so there is glass in there. It does not have, just realized, it actually does not have a hook to be able to hang it, so you'd have to add one of those little clasps, or just put it on an easel, and you could put it on a shelf. I love the fact it's low and short. I just love different size things like that. It would look fantastic sitting on a bookshelf. This can be yours by giving me letter O for $15. Letter O, $15 for the architectural frame. Going into something non-breakable again. Love, 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 love carrying children's books. So this one is, when I first picked it up, it does say it is linenette. And so I thought it was one of those linen fabric books. It is a linen finish, but it is still paper. So you can actually see right there on the cover, there's this tiny, tiny tear down at the bottom. So just be aware of that. There's a little bit of a condition issue there. And overall, it's just a little smudgy. You know, you might be able to take a piece of rubber eraser or something, you might be able to clean up some of that. But it is a story of tiny teddies, and it's linenette. It did have a year on it. 1928. So it's got some age. So tiny teddies, and you open it up, it's got artwork on every page. So you've got 3 teddy bears, actually 4 teddy bears, 3 brown teddy bears and 1 white teddy bear, who are getting up to mischief, and the little girl has to find them and give them baths and do all the fun things that bears have to do. It's in pretty good condition, other than being a little smudgy that probably could be polished up, but it is by staple bound, and all the pages are still bound. But to be honest, this would actually be really cute if you cut these up and put them in frames in a children's nursery, because each one has a little bit of a story underneath it. It's just some cute artwork as you go through them. You know, you got almost full page art on these. And it is yours for $6 by giving me letter K. $6 letter K for the Tiny Teddies linenette book. Let's go to something breakable again. So the next item that is breakable is, this did not have a mark on the bottom other than a sticker that says made in China, but Christmas is a-coming, so I need to make sure I get my Christmas decor out. It is the simple nativity, 3-piece nativity of Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus, and it is a candle holder. So it has a taper size, a taper cup in there for a taper size candle, so you could go up fairly tall behind it. But be honest, if you just put it on your shelf like that or in your decor, you wouldn't even know that that is in the background. So you don't have to put a candle on this at all. And the candle is external. There's nothing in here that makes it light. It's solid on the bottom, so it's not like a candle is going to light through there. It's in really good condition, surprisingly. His staff has not been chipped. There's no issues to that. And just some really nice, simple, simplistic color. Coming off of almost blue on the screen. I would say it's white. I would say they're white. So it's white with gold trim. She's a blonde. He's got sandy brown hair. Baby Jesus is a blonde. I know we even got a little lamb. I didn't see the lamb there. So, cute little piece. You can pick this up for $15 by giving me letter G. $15 for the nativity by giving me letter G. So I always love finding items that are still in their original packaging. So this is, actually it's got the lid to it. Oh, there it is. Linen damask tray cloth, size 30 centimeters by 45 centimeters. So that's roughly 2.5, 10 inches by 16 inches. 46 divided by 2.5. All right. Anyway, so it's a relatively small size, but it's sealed inside, so I don't want to take it off. But it's not particularly large. So again, 30 inches is the one, so 2.5, 25, 10, 5. It's like just over 10, under 11 inches wide, and then maybe about 14 inches in length. It is still in its original packaging. Oh, it's got... Nope, still has it in centimeters. Celtic scroll tray cloth white. It's all still sealed underneath it. It's all plastic coated, and then the lid goes on top. So it's perfect for gift giving. So you have an absolutely perfect, beautiful piece of linen, a tray cloth, or just a dresser cloth, I guess. Hopefully if I can show it closely enough. There you go. Oh, that works out pretty well. You can actually see the pattern. It's white on white, although it's actually showing really nicely as like a two-tone. It's really just, from a distance, it's just kind of like the finish of the white is kind of high finish versus low finish. So very cool piece. This is $15 for the sealed linen cloth, tray cloth. $15 by giving me letter M. $15 letter M for the tray cloth. All right, that goes into non-breakable, so we're gonna jump to something breakable. These were all the rage when I first started in selling vintage several years back, and I never came across them. I'm like, where are these wall pockets coming from? And they're always, the different shapes. I've ended up selling a few over time. This is a little bit more of a simplistic one. It is a wall basket with a beautiful blue and pink bird painted onto it, almost like a Scandinavian style. But on the back it says it was painted in Portugal, not Scandinavia. But it is, well, you figure out what it says, because it's in Portuguese. But beautiful piece, beautiful condition. It does have the place, have the nail to be able to hang it on the wall. You've put whatever you want in there. Pens, if you want to put that near your notepad, put a little notepad in there. Put it near the telephone, whatever you want. It's just a cute little wall pocket, and sits flat against the wall. It could sit on your table, but then you have this weird tab on it with a hole. So really designed to be for the wall. I'm looking for my cards. There they are. So you can have the Portuguese wall pattern or wall pocket for $15 by giving me letter R. $15 letter R for the Portuguese wall pocket. All right, jumping into something not breakable. I've got some more ephemera. Thought this was a fun one. So this is vintage advertising. Know anyone having a baby? They need this. So this is a collection of baby portraits. How unlike milk can you get? They honestly think they can simulate milk. You've got a little thinker with glasses on there. Hardy har har, what do you suppose they even tried? What are they talking about? I think we're dealing with some sort of formula replacement. You keep skimming. This is all just pictures with the babies having a little text underneath them. You still don't even know what they're advertising for yet until you get to the very, very back. Opposite this lovely baby, it is a carnation ad. So, Carnilac new formula. Is that by Carnation? Photographs by Constant Bannister. Did your mother's milk have corn oil in it? Seems rather judgy. Suitable distribution of calories, adequate nutrients and water for normal renal function, recommended levels of calcium and phosphorus in a satisfactory ratio. There is no date on this. I thought this actually was the date, but it's just NRC 125. So I never really no real way to know what year that is, and nothing else inside. But the only advertising is this one page, this one pink page of text. Doesn't have a phone number, doesn't have a website, doesn't even have an address. I don't know if this would be one of the things that you would maybe get at your doctor's office, because it's kind of like advertising, but it's a little bit more subtle than advertising. But it's definitely talking about how Carnalac is your best formula. And I don't know, even just the font, that's why I thought it was Carnation. I think that must be related to the Carnation company. Fun little piece. He's $8 for this booklet. Again, it's in perfect condition. I hate to cut it apart, but those baby faces are pretty funny. Maybe individually framing those, that would actually make some cool art for your living room or even the bathroom. Anyway, you got the Carnalac baby book. It is $8. You get that by giving me letter N. Carnalac, $8 for letter N. Oops. That was not a breakable item, so no need to worry there. Next item was unbreakable, so now we'll go to something that is breakable. This is a piece of pottery. It has a stamp on it. I want to say, yes, I can't remember the name of the company, but it does say made in Peru. So this is Peruvian pottery. So it's kind of the red clay pottery. Didn't really want to focus in on that one. But you've got a picture of kind of a pre-Columbian bird design with floral motifs going around it. In absolutely perfect condition, no chips, no cracks, lighter color glaze on the inside. It does feel, based on what I can feel, including the bottom, it does feel completely glazed on the inside, so you would actually be able to use this as a functional vase, should you choose to do so. But it is a low squat vase, kind of almost like a gourd shape, but it is ceramic. And this is available for $12. You can get this for $12 by giving me letter T. $12 letter T for the Peruvian pottery. All right, this was what I knocked over earlier, so I will show this. He's a tiny baby. It is a censer. It is an incense cone burning pot. This one, I had two of them. The bigger one is in my booths, but this one I was afraid would kind of get legs and walk off. So the smaller one I'm offering here. It is most likely made in India. It's got the holes cut into the top so that when you put the cone of incense in the bottom of this, it has air to help it burn, but it also, more importantly, has the holes to be able to let the scent go out. Nice little shape. It is very small. I mean, we're talking maybe 2 inches tall here, so it's on the petite side, but perfect size to hold one of those traditional incense cones that would fit inside. Simple piece is $6, and you can get that by getting me letter E. $6, letter E for the brass incense cone. All right, we're going to jump to another breakable item. This is from my personal collection. I've been selling a bunch of stuff that I found in a box that I've moved around a few times. This is very simply a piece of lace. So you can see that the lace is in the background, and then on that piece of lace is a floral motif of lace also stitched into it. I do not know the history of this. We picked this up as a decorative object. It used to have little prong feet that stuck out so you could set it up on a table. The prong feet there you go. The feet have fallen out, but it does still have the hook to be able to hang it on a wall, so you can still use this. It literally sat alongside, I had some bridal dolls that got sold a couple weeks ago. This just sat alongside them. It's a simple piece. I can't even verify the age of it, but it looks like it was made to look old. It's sweet. It's inexpensive because it is $5, and you get that by giving me letter W. $5 letter W for the little piece of lace. So that technically was breakable, but since I showed you this, I'm going to go ahead and include it. I'm running out of time, so I may have to select what actually gets included. But this is the only tin that I have this evening. It is a cigarette tin, and it is from the Shinasi Brothers Natural Original Egyptian Cigarettes. So you've got the advertisement on the inside So you can use this. I had boxes like this in my old powder room, and I had tobacco tags in them, all my Tobacciana. This is not for my personal collection. I just found this and I thought it was kind of cool. It's in rough shape, so you definitely want to have the industrial design aesthetic going, but some cool colors and some cool imagery on there because it is Egyptian design. Because of the condition, it does drop the price quite a bit. So you get the cigarette box for $10 by giving me letter S for the tin. For some reason, I ran out of letters. My stack of letters is missing. So the next couple of items I'm going to show you, I don't have letters. You'll just have to type in what you're looking for. This is going to be relatively large, but they're going to be very lightweight because we're dealing with a series of holiday-themed cookie cutters. So we've got a pumpkin, we've got a teddy bear, we've got a witch, we've got a bat, we've got let's go with angel. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe that's an angel. We've got an owl, we've got a cross, we've got a moon, got a Christmas tree, and either another, yeah, it looks like another owl. Looks like there's 2 owls on here. And then, for fun, you have a circle. You can do whatever you want with it. So however many that is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 maybe? 10 or 11. These are $10. So you get the whole set for $10. CC, cookie cutters. Whatever you want to describe, it's going into my comments. I should be able to figure it out. But it's $10, you get all of the cookie cutters. And then something else that I wanted to include tonight. This is also from my personal collection. This was actually from my daughter's bedroom. This is I don't even know what kind of material you would, I would say it's resin. It's made in China. It has the Millennium sticker on here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to read it any better than I can. I really need to get some cheaters so I can see some of these things before I put them on camera. But who cares what's on the back because what's on the front? It's in perfect condition. It's got that bisque porcelain feel, but it's made out of resin. And it's a mother holding up her child on a cross. So I don't typically carry religious items, but this is really sweet. And like I said, there actually is a family attachment to this, but nobody in the family wants to keep it. So I am selling this. So you get the cross for $15 by saying cross, I guess, since I don't have any other cards to be able to include. So that's that. Back to another unbreakable item. This is a fun set. I'm going to run out of time. This is a fun set of booklets that I thought would be popular. It's from 1968. It's the Amy Vanderbilt Success Program for Women. So we have how to get along with people, how to develop poise and self-confidence. Now you're talking, a guide to the art of conversation, how to entertain out of doors, and how to handle your legal problems. They all have exactly what they say they're going to. It's all tips and suggestions on how to live your life and how to become one with the Amy Vanderbilt Success Program. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books here. You get the whole set. There were actually, I think this was something that came, voluminous. You probably signed up for a subscription or something and got tons of these. But here you get 5 of them. You get the 5 for $10, and you get that by giving me Vanderbilt in the description. And I'm going to be out of, I think that's going to put me out of time. So hopefully that gives you a nice variety of items that are available. And appreciate if you've gotten to this part of the video. If you don't subscribe to my channel, please go ahead and do so. I hope to put more out there. But anyway, I will be watching the comments throughout the evening and try and get invoices out by this weekend. So thanks so much for claiming. Make sure you hop over to Mary's Reclaim Treasures by Mary. She will be going on at the top of this next hour at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then wrapping things up at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, it will be Pamela Blanchard. So thanks so much to Beth for hosting this year's Thanksgiving Shop Hop Drop sale, and thanks for watching my video. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.